Tusher and Parks.
Don't forget about Taylor Yu either. She can be inserted, so having 3 very capable setters just makes you all that much more dangerous going into the NCAA tournament. And a Pringle to get us started off here, and the senior gets us started serving. Going middle, and it's the freshman on the attacking error, Erica Sayer.
Interesting match because we talked about Tusher versus Parks right there. And the difference between these two setters, Tusher used to play beach, so that set for her, it's very long, it's very loopy, versus Parks, it's very quick. So these hitters are now going to have to readjust to Parks. That might be that mistiming that we saw right there.
I think it'll just take a quarter of a second, and a quarter indeed as Erica Sayer. They go right back to her with tempo, and Sayer ties it up 1-1.
We'll get a look here. Patience in the set and perfectly timed between Parks and Sayer, freshman to freshman.
Yeah, that freshman to freshman connection has been so strong all year long. Drop serve, nearly getting the ace. A good return here from Georgia Tech. And the left side, Mimi Mombu comes out with the kill.
Look out for Mombu. The freshmen are taking over early already, Max. We'll get a look here. A beautiful set, really high, enough for Mombu to get underneath it, get up, and pick out her spot.
And another freshman coming to the service line, and Abby Lee. She is their service specialist. She has a great drop serve, so you got to be really careful with where you position yourself when she serves. Parks going back set. This time it's Harvey. Cross-court cut shot.
Jordan Harvey. They don't call her Air Jordan for nothing. We're going to look at her hops there. Beautiful back set. You see Parks, she really didn't even take a peek at where Jordan Harvey was. She just knew exactly where to put that.
And rewarded for her efforts, Harvey out to the back line to serve. One of the leaders in the team in aces. Going back to that left side, and Mombu showing power and placement there.
Really impressive there from Mombu, picking out the back line. That's not easy to do. Your instinct is just hit it straight down. Jordan Harvey was waiting for Mombu to go straight down, and we get a look here right past Harvey, right to the back line.
Laura Bialeski out to the service line, played for the U21 Brazilian Championship team, had 6 service aces versus Cal. On the slide, the Cardinal getting their other center or middle involved in Lizzie Andrew.
6'5", Lizzie Andrew. That's her bread and butter right there. You mentioned on the slide, and that's where she shines.
Both of these middles for Stanford, the freshman and the sophomore, have been electric. And Elliot Rubin from that back line has been lethal. Spencer Etzler on the overpass, terrific defense there. The joust at the net, won by Andrew. Setting left side, Fyodorowicz off the block. Sent away, defense played there, but couldn't quite keep it in play. Julia Blashoff with the error there. And these wonky plays are something that you're gonna have to factor in. It seems like Georgia Tech really feels comfortable in the chaos.
Oh, I mean, absolutely, and there's no surprise there. Georgia Tech, we mentioned, sitting in 7th place in the ACC, but that's nothing to scoff at. This conference is absolutely incredible. You saw the tie at the top. All 3 teams of those could go on and win the entire NCAA. So Georgia Tech, they can battle with anybody on any given day.
Julia Blashoff hits a little long, and it's 5-3 Georgia Tech. And for Georgia Tech, despite the fact that their record is 16-11, they've been getting better as they've been playing tougher competition in the ACC. Sophia Velez sets us off once more. Left side, feeding Blashoff once more. And that's something I love to see from the Cardinal. You have a mistake on one side, you go right back to them to make it right.
We'll get a look here. And you got to get Julia Blashoff going. It's not hard to do, but it's so important. That's one of the elements of this Cardinal offense that's so lethal, is that anybody can get going at any given time. And right there, it's Julia Blashoff.
Coco Kirsch, 2 service aces in her last matchup against Cal. Going middle this time with tempo, and it's Garibaldi coming out with the kill. Garibaldi, we talked about it in pregame, 14 kills in that last performance against Notre Dame.
Such a good look there from the sophomore. You get a look at Garibaldi wearing that number 5. As you said, we mentioned that week, 21 kills in 2 matches.
And Suarez here in the back line. Cardinal can't play the defense, and this is a very dangerous position for Georgia Tech. You have 3 attackers in that front line with your setter serving.
That's a beautiful combination right there Fyodorovic mainly getting her arms on it, the freshman outside hitter. We're just seeing how much youth on display between these two teams.
And a service error sends it long. Stanford gets the point, making it 5-7. Logan Parks, right there on the back line, missed the last few matchups, the last two matchups against Cal, and got injured against SMU, so it's good to see her back. And nearly a let serve on her first attempt. Parks with the dig, bump set to the right side. It's Harvey out of system, ripping off some fingertips. Going to the left pin off the block. And the grasp, throwing it down. Garibaldi.
That was a absolutely gorgeous look. Look at the eyes of Suarez. She just sees that she can set up Garibaldi right there. These two working in combination, sophomore and junior respectively.
Fyodorovic got us started there. On the tip this time around. Left over the top, Stanford a clean opportunity here. They'll go Harvey on the cross-court shot, sent away. Garibaldi and Mombu coming up to build that wall.
We'll get a look here. Beautiful combination between the two of them. The middle blocker and the outside hitter once again combining, this time defensively.
Fyodorovic with 19 aces on the season as she gets her second serve. This time showing off the precision. Jordan Harvey once more. Feels like both of these teams are coming out and they're showing off deep tricks into their bag. It's not just power, it's precision early on.
We already talked about, Max, there's a lot on the line here for both of these teams, and they're coming out and they're playing just like it.
One middle into the block, and touching that net on the way in was Garibaldi, so it's 7-9 Stanford. Yeah, for Georgia Tech, they are on that bubble, that currently sitting as one of those first four into the tournament. But if you can get a victory over Pitt next game, or this current match against Stanford, that essentially locks you into the tournament. Going to the back set now to Spegne. Sending it too long. Ten to 7, and hot starts are exactly what Georgia Tech needs. As we take a look at Michelle Collier, 2019 ACC Coach of the Year, has led Georgia Tech to that 2021 Elite Eight. And she has been a terrific coach and a terrific athlete. The senior Elia Rubin able to get her first kill, perfectly buried into that back corner.
Well, with Elia Rubin, it's only a matter of time. Two-time All-American, celebrating her senior day. She can get it done.
Like we talked about just a moment ago, 234, 128, fluent in 3 languages. She's a global coach, and it reflects in her roster. Rubin refreshing off the block, the joust at the net. We'll get another cycle. Back row attack there. Stanford somehow keeps it up, and it's Pringle saving the day. Left side, high line shot, keeps it in. Mombu throwing that down like it's highlight.
Well, we get a look here. What a save. Just getting it over is the senior Pringle, and then, my goodness, unstoppable back line. Mombu wasting no time getting going.
Stanford didn't even give her that much space on the line. She just took it anyways. And now it's Lee back into the rotation to serve. Parks going left side. Rubin, a little awkward, but it still pays off. 9-11, the score. Kevin Hambley, 9th year, 224 and 46. He has been magnificent here at Maples. 112 and 14 in his career here at home. Out of system once more, and the attack goes too long this time around. Mimi Mombu with the error.
That for Mombu, that set was just a little bit behind her. She was trying to set up to be a little bit closer to the net, so she had to adjust midair and couldn't quite get her shoulder and her arm above it.
And that is the pressure the serve received from Stanford, forcing those situations. Here at the net, collecting fingertips, and she is chiseling off the block. It is the Mombu show early. Mambu with 4 kills on 5 swings up to this point. Has a block to her name as well, but they're going to take a look at this one.
Yeah, immediately Mambu was mentioning and signaling that there was a touch.
Challenging for no touch.
We're going to need a challenge from Kevin Hambley, and a reminder to everybody, each coach gets 2 challenges. If you use one and you get it right, you keep that challenge. If you use one, you get it wrong, you lose that challenge.
And if we end up going to the 5th, it resets.
There you go.
Taking a live look here at the DV Sport replay. ACC giving us a great look at this one. And just, I can understand why Hambley, especially with the momentum, the way it has been going, wants to challenge this one. But with an outside hitter of the talent of Mambu, you know that sound of it ripping off the fingertips.
Certainly, and you can see there, it looks like the ball is headed in one direction, even though it does look like it's headed right into the hands, you never know. But then you see it deflect and change course and go a totally separate direction.
And
we get a look here.
The up ref right in front of that situation as well. It wasn't on the far side pin, it was right in front of his eyes. But for Georgia Tech in this situation, you are the underdog coming on the road. Your playoff hopes and dreams still on the line right now. They're coming off to a hot start as it's 12-10 with the advantage early.
That's right, and we're getting a great look here. Tough to determine. You mentioned Kevin Hambley challenging this for momentum's sake. Either way, as you just said, Georgia Tech coming in here, getting started early. That's something that you just have to do against this Stanford Cardinal team, because once they start to put their foot on the gas, they just simply don't take it off. And they know how to close out games easy and quickly.
Stanford 23-4 in first sets on the season. On the other side, Georgia Tech 15-11, so it's imperative to get off on that hot start.
Referees getting a good, hard look at this. Also, Brig Beatty, Donald Taryn, Neil Meredith, Derwin Jordan, 4 of our referees today. It is difficult to determine because from certain angles it does look like it hits the hands of Parks, and from certain angles it actually seems like it maybe doesn't, Max.
And I think more than anything, the amount of time it's taking kind of bodes into the favor of Stanford, because right at the bat, it was a clear call from the up official.
Absolutely, everything makes a difference here, what the initial call was, if this is conclusive or inconclusive, as we get another look here up close. Beautiful angle.
And the block between Lizzie Andrew and Logan Park changes up as well when you have a little bit of a shorter player in Tusher, who was expected to start.
After review, calls reversed, point Stanford.
And that is exactly why you take that challenge. Kevin Hambley has been terrific his whole entire career in challenges, and don't doubt him in that situation now. As the fans get involved early on. Good house here the day before Thanksgiving here at Maples. And an aggressive server, and Harvey gets us started once more. Sent away on the block, Deandra Pierce on that right side. And now they'll go back to Mambu. Diving in is Etzler. Left side, Rubin touching off the block. Back row out assist in the swing there by Despegna. And now it's Andrew on the slide. The quick jab and a point for Stanford. All tied up 11-11.
We mentioned how good the sophomore is on the slide. She does a good job to adjust there. You can see her just making sure she gets her arm extended to that ball a little further away from her than she anticipated on that slide initially. It really is her bread and butter. First in hitting percentage on this team, first in the ACC. She's hitting over 400 on the season, Max.
That is one of the top spots in all-time standings for Stanford as well. Now take another look at this.
Challenging for net fault.
Georgia Tech challenging for a net fault in this situation. We've got a lot of action in the replay booth going on early.
Well, we certainly do, keeping everybody busy. And as similarly as you said, the challenge from Kevin Hambley was about momentum. I would say this is exactly the same thing, as we're going to get a look here. Was there a touch is the question, or excuse me, a net violation is the question.
And if it's on that initial look that they're showing on the screen right now, it looked like Andrew was able to clear out the way. There was no touch on the net on the first, but the second, you can see the rattle of that netting.
Always look for the rattle of the net, as you mentioned, Max. Nothing there. Andrew getting up and over it. We'll see her on the way down. Nothing on that one either.
And Andrew at 6'5", when she elevates, she's got plenty of airtime to go ahead and retract those arms. And Georgia Tech coming out swinging early, and for both of these teams, we talked about it being senior night, but these rosters are extremely young.
You said it, Max. I mean, Stanford Cardinal, the makeup of this roster, it's a little bit terrifying for other teams for years to come. 11 underclassmen in an 18-person roster, 2 seniors, 1 junior, the rest freshmen, sophomores, and redshirt sophomores. And when you look at how good they are this year, as we get a look at the roster breakdown, this bodes so well, because you look at, for example, Logan Parks, this setter. She's a freshman. She's only going to continue to develop.
After review, calls confirm, point Stanford.
And the call confirmed point Stanford. But finishing up her point about this roster as well, something to factor in is Stanford doesn't come out and they don't really recruit their transfer portal. It's a lot of homegrown talent, so you need a lot of that depth and a lot of that talent right there with the underclassmen and those 8 sophomores and 6 freshmen. Jordan Harvey, 33 aces coming into the night. Gets us started on the serve and the block on the left side. Very strong. Elia Rubin and Lizzie Andrew right there.
Not exactly what you want to see when you're elevating the combination of Andrew and Rubin. Right there, it's all Rubin. Andrew a little late to it, and Rubin, the 2-time All-American, gets her arms in the way.
Staying with Mambu, this time off the touch, Rubin with the dig. Going Andrew down the middle. Hit into the hands of the middle blocker and Pierce. Now Mambu with the tip. Elevation there from Parks to send it back away. Great rally on her hands. Rubin left side. Off the block into the stands, and it's 14-11 card.
Happy senior day, Elia Rubin. Parks, the freshman, to Rubin, the senior. And Elia Rubin, she brings so much to this squad. It's not just her ability on the court, the 2-time All-American, leading in points, leading in kills, leading in service aces. She can truly do it all, but it's the leadership as well that she brings. So cool, calm, collected. When they need her most in big moments, late in matches, that's when she comes up the biggest.
Kevin Hamley early on in the season talked about it's like almost having a coach on the court with you. It just so happens that she can lead you in so many of those statistical categories. Bialeski to the back line as it's 14-12. Stanford with the back row attack. Harvey with the error last time gets her pay dirt right there, and it's 15-12. Stanford with the advantage. Stanford, despite trailing, they come out and they take the lead to send us
17 Purdue.
15-12, the most dangerous server, and Elia Rubin back there to get us started. Setting the left side to Fyodorowicz, and she's able to get the kill. Another freshman out of Poland, one of the leaders in the teams in kills.
And we get a look here all the way over to the left side, coming flying in from the back line, tallying her first kill on the day.
Sofia Velez, the libero, starting us off. Parks going backside on the slide, and it's Andrew with the big swing. Back row attack from Georgia Tech. Too long. 16-13 off the long swing from Despegne.
I don't mind that look from Despegne. She was trying to go to that back line. It's been pretty effective for Georgia Tech so far in this game. So the freshman trying to go back there. She's coming off a pretty impressive week offensively, which saw her hit a career-high 20 kills for the 2nd time this season.
Coco Kirsch checks in. The service error makes it 16-14. And we talk about Mambu because she's been leading the team in kills up to this point, but a few different players with a lot of kills, 10 kills for Garabelli and Mambu, as well as Fyodorowicz. They were all above 10. Despegne had 9 kills in that last matchup, and Pierce had 7 of her own. Going back to the slide, this time it's to the freshman and Sayer. And Sayer combating with Garibaldi as the sophomore out of Argentina gets the kill. Eloise Soares to the back line, and in the first rotation where she was here, Georgia Tech were able to rally off a couple of points. Blashoff trying to send her away. No clean attack there. Backside set, and another long attack for Despegne. Just needing to go ahead and recalibrate it, but instead, let's see if the challenge will come. So if this second challenge does not work for Coach Callier, this would mean she does no more for the rest of the
Georgia
match.
Tech is challenging for touch.
There you just hear it. Georgia Tech is challenging for a touch. The moment that happened, every single Georgia Tech player on the court put their hand up, signaled for the touch. But what you just said is so key, Max, because we're not even done with the first set. We're going to get a look here. And to not have any more challenges for the rest of the match, that's huge.
And
Go ahead.
That really does speak to just the confidence of what Coach thought. It was right in front of her on that right side pin, and I can see why she immediately stood up and made that call.
Absolutely. You know, it also speaks to the importance of how they view the Stanford Cardinal, and it's so much respect that you have to afford this Stanford Cardinal team, because we talked about how quickly they can close out matches, and it certainly feels like as soon as they get to 18 points, they just put their foot all the way down on the gas, and it goes by in a flash. So if you're going to stay with them towards the end of sets, you have to do things like this. You have to be aggressive with challenges. You have to take the points as they come. We get another look here.
Yeah, just taking a look off that fingertip, and if we get a little bit of a flex off the pointer finger from Sayer.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It looks like the main question is the pointer finger of number 22, Erica Sayer, freshman middle blocker, second in blocks on this Stanford Cardinal team, by the way. And from this angle, you see the hand bending of Sayer.
Yeah.
What an angle we have, thanks to DV Sport and our entire crew. DV Sport Replay affording us all of this. And yeah, from this angle, Max, at least that we have, it certainly looks like there's a touch, and it looks like we have the call in right here.
After review, calls reversed, point Georgia Tech.
And that is why she has been at the helm for 12 years here at Georgia Tech. Little plays like that, keeping momentum on your team and keeping you involved. You touched on it a few different times at this point. Stanford is dangerous, and the moment they smell blood, they put you away. So Georgia Tech doing a terrific job just continuing to fight in this one. Suarez once more, up at the net. Parks wasn't quite able to get it cleanly, and it looked like Stanford might have slipped underneath the net there on the dig.
That violation, yeah, it's that joust between Parks. Didn't go as planned.
Yeah, right there was Blashoff. Just her momentum carried her past that midcourt line. Third straight serve here for the setter in the back line. Blashoff going with power, keeps it in play. Tied up 17 apiece. Very close.
My goodness, finding the space, the open space on the court, Julia Blashoff. Such good vision.
Logan Parks to initiate. Going right side on the back set. Cross court. And fingers were caught along the way. Fyodorovic with another kill.
And the freshman out of Poland, she's starting to get going here for Georgia Tech. That her second kill. You mentioned how many players had almost double digits or double digits kills against Notre Dame. She was one of them, 11 of them on senior day.
Mombu checking back into the left side. And it's Harvey throwing it straight down.
Well, you love the switch up. Everybody's been going back line, and then Jordan Harvey says, you know what, let's just send this one straight into the ground, and just no time for reaction for Mambu.
It's Julia Blashoff sending that one long. And when you look at the score, Georgia Tech feels like they got all the momentum, but it's 19-18 as the road team coming west has the advantage early. Leader and aces on the team, and Garibaldi sends it over to Rubin. Going middle, not a clean attack there by the freshman. Parks with the stab into the netting. And this is the difference in the lineup that we've been talking about. Parks is so aggressive and goes up and takes a lot of different risks compared to the other setters in Tusher and Yu.
I mean, you said
Out of timeouts in his time here with the Card. Rubin with the receive, and they'll go right side back over to Harvey, and it has been the Jordan Harvey show.
fifth kill of the match already for Jordan Harvey, the junior. She's done it from the back line, from the right side, from the left side. She's been everywhere.
That is the versatility and the strength of the Card. A violation called against Georgia Tech will give the point to the Cardinal.
That's the kind of thing you just can't do, especially coming into Maples Pavilion against this Stanford Cardinal team. You can't beat yourself.
Especially with an extremely young roster, these little mistakes happen, but you gotta nip it in the bud right away. Spencer Etzler, one of those freshmen for the Cardinal, out to the back line. Great serve here. Forcing an out-of-system attack, and not even an attack, it's just a free ball. Setting up left side, going back over to Rubin. And now it's Mambu. Mambu on that left pin has been dangerous today.
4th kill on the day. She's got 2 errors as well, though, but you see her on the left side. The vision of some of these underclassmen for Georgia Tech is really on display right now.
And as Abby Lee takes the service line, another one of those freshmen. At this point in the season, the freshmen almost turned the page to their sophomore year already with all the playing and experience they've got under their belt. Harvey with another big blow. Now it's Pringle with the dig. The stab in the middle attack. And that is the aggression working out to perfection. Logan Parks putting it on a platter, and Lizzie Andrew capitalizing.
A big point as well. A beautiful save on the Georgia Tech side, but out of system, and you see the set and then cross court. Andrew.
Just so much elevation on that front line for the Card. 21-21. Pringle with the diving save here. Left side to the senior, Rubin. A big swing and a great dig. Mambu with the dig, sends it cross court, and the point.
It's so impressive. Mambu had the dig on that, got up, then sent it cross court to tally that point for Georgia Tech.
She sent it cross court to the best dig specialist on the Cardinal, and Spencer Etzler, and even Etzler couldn't get that one up. Bialeski back into that back line. The outside hitter out of Brazil. Parks going back over to the senior. Off the hand, into the floor. 22 all off the kill from Elia Rubin.
What did we say? She comes up biggest in big moments, and that a big moment indeed. Stanford in danger of going down by 2 points. Instead, we're locked at 22.
And this is where the Cardinal is at its strongest, when Rubin is serving. Off the block, into the floor. Logan Parks, welcome back.
Well, this is what we mean when we say Stanford almost become more.
As well, as that is kind of how the Euro and South American circuit go. Elia Rubin getting us started here, and this is a very important point here for Georgia Tech. Great dig on the back line from the senior. Blashoff just has to put this over. Free ball setting up the left side. Parks, Blashoff. Not a clean hit there. Right side sending it over once more. Etzler back over to Blashoff. Plenty of power that time. Blashoff with the blast into the back row.
Blashoff blasts off, as we like to say at Maples Pavilion. Look at that. Cross court, back line. Redshirt sophomore gets it done, in Stanford now 1 point away from the set.
24-22 at set point. Stanford here in the first as Georgia Tech uses their second timeout. Great opportunity for Georgia Tech to try to kind of come in and tighten things up. Even if you're not necessarily able to come back and take this set, it still gives you a little momentum going forward.
To say the least, and you look at the overall matchup history between these two sides, this is just the 6th overall meeting, but Stanford have won all 5 previous matchups. Georgia Tech are looking for their first ever win against the Stanford Cardinal, and you look at something like that, you can think, I don't know, is mentality going to come into play here? Are they going to come in and start to play scared? Well, we can cross that off of the list because they certainly haven't. So what you said absolutely applies. This is, if anything, just going to give this Georgia Tech team some confidence that we can't just play with the Stanford Cardinal. This is actually a beatable squad for us right now.
Stanford has 1 service ace on the night, and that's something that they have to look out for. 9 service aces given up against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They've given up 253 coming in tonight. And it just so happens one of the best servers in Stanford history will continue on the line. Elia Rubin, 3rd all-time in that category.
Elia Rubin getting a chuckle at the Jumbotron right there as she waits to serve. The looseness of her in this big moment at set point. Pretty impressive.
Calm, cool, and collected. 24-22 set point here in the first frame. Rubin with the service ace. 25-22, Stanford takes backside to start us off. Received by Rubin. Parks going back over to Harvey and right back into it, into the thick of it for Jordan Harvey.
Oh, tally kill number 6. That leads everybody today between both sides of the net.
Stanford finished the last set on a 4-0 run that allowed them to take it 25-22. And now, don't blink. If the Cardinal can build a little bit of momentum, it might just turn into a snowball, but a service error from Spencer Etzler will give a little bit of life to Georgia Tech here.
And you mentioned it, that's the most important part, Max, right now for Georgia Tech. You can't let this slip. Keep pace with Stanford right now or try to run away early like you did in that first set.
Garibaldi, the pit transfer, gets us going. And the middle blocker, and Lizzie Andrew with another kill. Andrew up to 4 kills on the afternoon.
See the set, those two combining so well all season.
Harvey to serve. Mambu with the tip. Great pick up there by Rubin. Quick set. Andrew with the hit. And now it's Despeigne. Pringle trying her best to get out the way, but it caught her shoulder right as it exited.
Now we'll get a look here. The senior Pringle getting the start today. You can see she notices immediately she really shouldn't have gotten away in that, but I mean, so much heat on that from Despeigne.
Abby Lee, 4 service aces in her last showing, and the elevation on the left side for Rubin goes wide right. It's almost funny to see the battle between Harvey and Rubin. Sometimes Harvey goes up there and puts a huge high ball down, and then Rubin says, hey, everything you can do, I can do as well. Pringle with the dig. On the slide. And no hands in the way. An attacking error there from Andrew.
A rare miss there from Lizzie Andrew as we see her on the slide going cross court, something she usually nails pretty easily. Mentioned leading the ACC in hitting percentage, so that a rare miss.
Going left side to Rubin, had to cock back to get that one. Now it's Mambu. Pringle receives it. Back over to Rubin into the triple block. Harvey with the stab. Free ball. Right side on the slide of their own. And that's Deandra Pierce, their longtime graduate student. Spent her freshman year winning the national championship in 2022 with Texas. And now going right into her bag, her favorite play on the slide.
Back set. Pierce, middle blocker. Doesn't make a lot of errors. 5th in the ACC in hitting percentage.
And another violation before the serve called against Georgia Tech. That is their 2nd of the match, as it is currently 3 serving 5. Rubin taking that back line.
Just cleaning it up a little bit for Georgia Tech. We mentioned they can't beat themselves, but you look at some of these statistics coming out of the first set. Stanford hit 306, Georgia Tech just 200. That's not too bad, but you look at the total team blocks. Stanford with 2, Georgia Tech with 3. You're going to want to get that block percentage up a little bit higher if you're Georgia Tech, just because there are so many threats on this Cardinal team.
Out of system, but Mambu, it doesn't matter. She's going ahead and taking that lead back at 6 kills to tie up Jordan Harvey.
And we get a look here. Good job to chase it down. And then who else, as you mentioned, Mambu to finish it off.
And usually with freshmen, it's so difficult to try to get them comfortable out of system, but it doesn't matter with Mimi Mambu. You set her up and she's able to take it from any point on the floor. A service error called against Georgia Tech, and it'll be 4 serving 6 as Erica Sayer comes back into the front line. Coco Kirsch, service error in her last showing, the redshirt sophomore coming in as that serve specialist. Drop serve, received well, and now just a little bit of a hook shot to send it over. Right side by Sayer, no clean connection. Blashoff out of system, off the hands, into the floor, and Julia Blashoff continues her great late season.
Blashoff just right through the block. That's her 5th on the day.
The diverse attack of the Cardinal continues to show its way off. Georgia Tech still with the advantage. It's the left side attack of Fyodorovich, able to make it 7-5.
There's the set. Once again, it's been the vision for Georgia Tech to be able to send that around the block. Fyodorovich, the freshman, once again out of Poland.
And Belize, one of those other international players out of Columbia. Harvey with the big back row attack. Terrific defense there. Going back to Fyodorovich. Off the stanchion. And unable to go ahead and play that ball.
Sometimes you need a little luck, Max, and that's what Georgia Tech get right there. A little bit of chaos. They do a good job just to send that ball back over the net. Stanford looked like they were ready to set up for it. Georgia Tech gets lucky.
Goes into a little bit of communication here as Blashoff pokes it over. Back over to Blashoff, straight through the block. And the hands caught alongside the way Blashoff looked up. It looked like she wasn't even certain. And so the up official said it was Stanford's point, and now there's a miscommunication. Both sides came to the line to serve. The play will be under review.
Georgia Tech is challenging for no touch.
This is a big challenge. We talked about and alluded to it in the previous attempt. No more challenges will remain if the head coach in Callier misses this one.
As you mentioned, Max, we've been in this position before. Callier challenging on the last one, winning that one. This will be big. Here we get a perfect look right at the net. Was there a touch?
And like we were talking about momentarily, it's just those digits ever so slightly coming back, especially alongside the up official. It's so hard to win those challenges because the official is right there in that spot.
Right now we're looking at that left hand of Suarez, and from that angle it's tough to tell if it actually hits the left hand or if it goes through or over. From this angle, a little further away, it looks like it might be going over the hands and over the block of the extended Suarez.
Yeah, Blashoff looking like she wanted to split right past the defender's hands, but in this case, if it goes a little long, another one challenge will be credited to
After
Georgia.
review, calls reversed, point Georgia Tech.
And Georgia Tech able to save it. 2 for 1 on the afternoon in challenges is Michelle Callier.
Well, you mentioned Julia Blashoff. Looked a little surprised that Stanford won that point. We should never go off of player reaction, but that's certainly leading.
Sofia Velez back to the back line. Blashoff with the receive. They go over left side. Blashoff back to back. This time able to get the kill.
Yeah, Julia Blashoff saying we're going to make sure that there's no mistake on this one. We're going to end that 3-0 by Georgia Tech run by Georgia Tech. We're just going to send this straight into the ground. So much force.
Logan Park's in the starting position. Overpass, and the luck has come the way of Georgia Tech. You know, taking on the Irish last time, it looks like they're carrying over some of this luck to take on the Cardinal now.
We've seen some miscommunications in this set for the Stanford Cardinal up at the net on their defensive side, and that time it cost them a point.
3 different points that you possibly might be able to look back. Let's see if Stanford able to clean up the communication. And the set over the net, it looks like Stanford might have got into that twine. Sloppy play here in the second for the Card. Timeout taken by Stanford, and a good timeout here from Kevin Hambley.
Getting there his squad to just reset. I think we'll see a different Stanford Cardinal coming back out of that timeout.
Blashoff with the off speed, a terrific diving attempt there, set up a free ball. Right side Harvey has to come all the way up to send that one back. And now it's just a frantic pace of play. Stanford going to Harvey, the block, straight, sent straight down, oh my goodness.
Chaos on both sides is really the only way to describe this. Some excellent digs on this Georgia Tech side, able to get it back over the net. But then the back set, Harvey, that block, just not enough.
Fyodorowicz with the block and the point for Georgia Tech as they currently double up the Cardinal 12-6. Yu checks into the lineup for the first time today. Stanford out of system, able to get the attack off, and the block strong once more by Sayer. Left side, Fyodorowicz into the back row, dug up by Rubin. Yu setting up the left side over to Blashoff, and Blashoff with another back line, perfect touch.
We're gonna get a look at this. What a save. Then Sayer gets it over. Yu with the setup and Blashoff. Great defense and a great finish by Julia Blashoff. We get a look at her there, checking out, getting a break. The redshirt sophomore right there, that was her 6th kill on the day.
Taylor Yu, the sophomore out of Temple City, California, comes back in. And Stanford unable to get the clean block off as that block was sent into the antenna. So the Cardinals shaking things up quite a little bit with a few different setters here. And this is something familiar as to what we saw early on in the season. Early in the season, Logan Parks and Yu checked in and out, I should say, in that 6-2 rotation for the Cardinal. So this is something that they should be comfortable with. And Elia Rubin, of course, very comfortable with any set you send her away. Able to get the point right back for the Card.
Elia Rubin, 23rd player in program history to register 1,000 kills. 3rd on Stanford's career aces list, over 140 aces for the senior right here.
Spencer Etzler, a tough serve. Having a cock back for that ball, and that set up the block on the left side. Rubin with back-to-back plays, and it's perfect.
It can't be said enough. Big players make big plays in big moments. Look at this. Once again, Elia Rubin.
The senior showing off all aspects of her game. Full-out dive trying to get the save there from Harvey, but it's too strong as Georgia Tech makes it 14-9.
Georgia Tech has come out with a vengeance. Max, it seems that Georgia Tech certainly thinks that that first set should have belonged to them, and they've come out to prove so in this second set. Stanford Cardinal looking on their back heel.
Going right side over to Harvey, and I love that so much. Typically you see it on a mistake, but they're rewarding Harvey in that situation for the full-out effort she had on defense.
Back set, there it is. Jordan Harvey points to the floor. She knows that one's in.
And Harvey now to the back line as Stanford puts on a little run of their own. It's 10 serving 14. Going middle over to the graduate and Pierce. Stanford with the defense, Rubin with the attack. Back-to-back attacks from Pierce, and it pays off 15-10.
Just as we're talking about Jordan Harvey, she gets the dig on that one, but it's not enough. Georgia Tech punishing the Stanford Cardinal.
Abby Lee into that back line. She has been so dangerous this season. And will that service pressure she puts on be enough to keep the foot on the gas for the Yellow Jackets? Yu right side on the slide. Perfect delivery, and it's Andrew throwing it down.
We talked about Lizzie Andrew on the slide. Here's the sophomore middle blocker. Just right through the arms of a combination of Pierce and Suarez right there, and those two not close enough. Lizzie Andrew finds the opening.
5 kills on the afternoon from Andrew. Out of system off the touch. Etzler with the dig. Going right side with the quick set slide. Back attack. Off the hands, chiseling the block. It's Harvey continuing to lead the way. 8 kills for the junior.
First, you gotta have the defense. Spencer Etzler, the freshman, comes up big, and then who else? Jordan Harvey. Air Jordan's been taking over this game. That her 8th kill. She's hitting 400 right now.
Etzler, former All-American, has been inserted, and she has been paying things off. Bump set, allowing Blashoff to push it through the triple block. Julia Blashoff and Spencer Etzler, man, what a great performance by these young Cardinal players. Elia Rubin unable to keep it in play, targeting that back line, but just put a little too much power on it. 16 serving 13. Rotation in the lineup brings Bialeski back in. Bialeski having those 6 aces against Cal early on this season. And no aces up to this point for Georgia Tech compared to the 2 of Stanford. Blashoff over to you. Another miscommunication here. Harvey and Etzler both backed up, and that ball touches down.
Certainly uncharacteristic of the Stanford Cardinal how much we're seeing this, but you see Elia Rubin just getting her team pumped up, giving some high fives around, saying you got to shake it off and let's reset.
Received by Etzler. You back row, and it's Harvey with the massive blow and a great dig by Georgia Tech, setting up the free ball. Off speed this time. You right side slide and a kill. Lizzie Andrew perfecting that slide.
We get the look here, back set from you. Again, how many times have we said it today, Max? The slide, cross court for the sophomore middle blocker. And Lizzie Andrew comes up big again. That's her 6th kill on the day.
And with Lizzie Andrew, she has that size at 6'5", so she can almost put it on your head if you don't get up on the block quick enough. No touch on that ball as the attack goes long. Fyodorovich with the attacking error, and Stanford within 2. Coco Kirsch against Cal at Cal. 2 service aces. Sends it into play once more. Going right back over the freshman off the top of the tape. Great dig there by Kirsch. And now it's Blashoff. Back over to Fyodorovich. And it looks like that block got in the way before it went long. 18-15 GT.
We're gonna get a look here. You see the tip just off the fingertips of you.
Ooh, and maybe not. Kevin Hambley setting up momentarily. Oh, he puts down the card. You back over to Blashoff. Off the block, no joust in sight. And now having to fall back for it was Fyodorovich. Continual miscommunication on both sides, and there's just something in the air here at Maples here the day before Thanksgiving. Both sides just a little bit wonky.
Yeah, kind of a weird play there. Julia Blashoff, it looks like she's trying to set up you up at the net.
Now it's the freshman, Erica Sayer, able to get the answer. Taylor Yu going to the back line, 2 service aces on the year, but all the respect in the world for you. You played in that match against SMU, came back, played a few bits in the first match against Cal in the first half of the big spike, and able to get the service ace there. Just the ability to stay ready at any given moment, you got to give her her flowers.
Absolutely, that's just the 3rd service ace on the season for Taylor Yu as well. Sophomore out of Temple City, California.
And you with another great pressure on the serve. Left side off the block, off the hit from Fyodorovich. Going back over to the freshman from Poland. And you wasn't able to quite cleanly collect it on that attempt. Off the tip, 20-17 Georgia Tech advantage here in the second.
You can see the leadership as well. We're gonna get a look here. There's the setup. Elia Rubin was diving for it. Yu goes for it. Elia Rubin gets up right there. You can just see the leadership on full display. She doesn't get upset. She just turns around and she says, that's okay, let's keep going.
You going middle. That time, no hands were touched along the way. Harvey went up and hit the top of the tape. Timeout taken by Stanford here as the score is currently 21 to an Argentinian, a Hungarian, an Italian, and a Serbian. Truly a whole world represented roster. That one drifting a little too far ahead. It allows an easy throwdown from Noemi Despegna. Stanford had taken the point after every single timeout up until that point, and is 22-17, a 5-point advantage here for the Yellow Jackets. Suarez, left side Blashoff into that back line. And another free ball, so many of these seen today. You going middle, Sayer goes to that sideline and it stays in.
Erica Sayer, her third on the day, picking out that sideline.
And you go a fast tempo in that situation. The serve, the set there, just a little slow, and that threw off everybody in the block of Georgia Tech. Punching over the top, Etzler gets her hand on it, and diving for that ball is Anna Pringle. Wasn't able to get there in time. 2 points away from taking it for Georgia Tech. They lead 23-18.
It'll all be in the hands here of outside hitter freshman Anna Fyodorovic.
Fyodorovic over to Pringle. Harvey trying to get the answer. The block sent down into the right-hand side as it stays in play, and it's Georgia Tech's set point. No timeouts left. It's do or die for the Cardinal here in the second frame. And the let's serve with the first ace of the day. Georgia Tech able to storm back in the second. 25 to
path after college. Now they get to go play pro.
Kendall Kipp, selected by the Columbus Fury, and Elena Ogilvie, another one of those Cardinal players that had the opportunity to continue their playing career over at Major League Volleyball. And the first point as the momentum continues to go the direction of the Jackets.
Jackets hitting 400 in that second set compared to the Stanford Cardinal 171. 7 hitting errors for the Stanford Cardinal, just 2 for the Jackets in that second set. That has been the difference. Yes, a few more blocks for the Yellow Jackets, but it's the errors. You don't usually see 7 in a set for the Cardinal, and the Jackets cleaning it up. 6 errors in set number 1, just 2 in that second set.
Stanford, number 9 team in the NCAA in terms of hit percentage. Typically a very clean attacking team. That has not been the case today. An attacking error there by Garibaldi allows Stanford to take the advantage here, 2-1.
Coming out strong is going to be really important for the Stanford Cardinal.
And this is the set that really matters the most. Stanford 22-20 in third sets. Off the antenna, Stanford able to get the point. And this is the point, you're feeling a little bit of momentum built up. Put your foot on that gas pedal, continue to serve aggressively, and allow yourself to start to get that steamroller going. Left side, the attack from Mimi Mambu is good. Mambu got off to an extremely hot start, but then they started moving away from her over to Fyodorovic, and now Mambu right back into the fold.
Well, that's been key for Georgia Tech, is get everybody going so you have a lot of options. Once Stanford saw that Mambu was really starting to go, started closing down that block a little faster on her side, now getting her going once again. Mambu's got 7 on the day, second to only Fyodorovic.
And the air is starting to pile up here on the right-hand side of the court. A lot of those woes from Stanford came on the side that Georgia Tech is currently playing on, so let's see what that trend continues to be. And another error right there from the middle. The setter in Suarez unable to get anything clean. 5-2, Stanford with the advantage. And it's the lethal Jordan Harvey out to the back line. Harvey nearly forcing another overpass. You with the joust. Despegna off the block, you unable to get it off of that block, and it's 5-3.
Despegna just says, I'm gonna hit this with power. You can see here, here's the back set. Lizzie Andrew can't get over in time. A sloppier block on the Stanford Cardinal side, and taking advantage of it is the number 21, Despegna.
The last 4-point run that Georgia Tech was able to go on was by the service of Abby Lee. She is in the back line now. Rubin closes that window quickly. Elia Rubin with the kill.
You with the set, Rubin all the way in from the back line, sets herself up, sends it down the line.
And now Rubin, 7 kills, hitting 400 on the afternoon. Out to the serving area. A rare error, and the point goes right back over to the Yellow Jackets. Laura Bieleski We've seen her at the line. This is her 4th stint here on the afternoon. 1-1, a very pivotal 3rd set here. You going right side on the slide to Andrew. And now it's Fyodorowicz. 2 wide, point card.
You like the look there. Here it is, the setup, and then on the slide, as you said, cross court. We've seen it from Andrew a lot. That one just sailing wide.
Coco Kirsch, the defensive specialist and service specialist. And up to this point, since the insertion of Taylor Yu, she has been getting all the spots here on the starting setter's position. Fyodorowicz, another error as it goes wide. Cardinal doubling up Georgia Tech here in the 3rd frame, 8-4 to start it. And the body language of the card just so calm and collected despite the fact that they dropped that last set. Harvey, a full dive out trying to save it, but a better play there by Fyodorowicz.
We're gonna get a look here. There's the setup. Off of the hands of Yu and Harvey, as we see with the attempt. Just can't quite get there. But you mentioned the Cardinal looking calm and collected, Max. Understandably so. We're going to make a big deal about them dropping a set. But, hey, they dropped a set, and they've done it before in this year. And now it's about how quickly can you recollect? Can you get back together? And that's certainly what Kevin Hambly focused on in between the 2nd and the 3rd set. It's just about leaving that behind as we get a look here. At that point, the Stanford Cardinal.
And Sayer coming out there and getting another clean attack. And that is a nice adjustment that Kevin Hambly's been making over the last few points. He's been going back to the middles and just some of those higher percentage attacking situations. You on the serve, got a couple aces last time around. This time it sends it long. But I think that's really what Kevin Hambly wants to do. He sees a little bit of a waver in his team despite the fact that the team on the court is showing so much poise. So he's going to some of these plays that really just give you high percentage opportunities to convert.
Kevin Hambly has been described by a lot of his players as just one of the most chill guys. And that's a direct quote, actually. And what that can do for a player, it's hard when you're already kind of frantic inside, frantic in your head about maybe things that aren't going your direction. It's hard then if your coach adds to that. But Kevin Hambly's calmness has been such a wonderful element. He brings that calmness, that composure to this Stanford Cardinal squad. That's why we don't see them so frazzled much at all. It all comes and starts from the head coach right there in Kevin Hambly.
Kevin Hambly, 75% win percentage in his career, 83 overall. And the middle attack on the quick set. Erica Sayer putting it down.
My goodness. Nothing but power. Talk about unstoppable. Fired up are the Stanford Cardinal. Erica Sayer right there. That's her 3rd.
Minus tempo there, just going ever so quickly. And now setting up the middle on the other side, going right back. And we said this before, but Georgia Tech currently, everything you can do, I can do better.
Even with that, you know, this hasn't been the cleanest start for the Stanford Cardinal, and despite that, still in the lead by 3 points. It's been a better start nonetheless. Georgia Tech doing a good job of keeping pace.
Here in this best of 5. You going right side, back over to Harvey. Harvey with another kill. That brings her to 9.
Back set. Harvey off of the hands.
That is another high percentage shot. And you're able to go cross court with Jordan Harvey. That time she took the line. Couple Cardinal dive out the way after the attack. And terrific cat-like reflexes by the Card.
Trying to go back line. That's a tough shot right there. You can see Blashoff along with Harvey both right there ready to receive it. Both of them getting out of the way knowing that's going long.
Lofted over on the serve. Couldn't quite get it off. Mambu went up, showing power in the last second. She decided to go ahead and change things up. Timeout taken by Georgia Tech, playing with the U20 Polish team, the U21 Polish team in the 2025 World Championships, voted MVP and best spiker back in that U20 performance. Jordan Harvey on the other side of the timeout sends it long, so it is currently still 9 serving 14. A lot of seasoning and international flavor on the Georgia Tech side. And they're cooking it all together to put on a great performance this afternoon, tied up with the number 5 team in the country. And Elliot Rubin saying, "You're not stealing my spotlight." 15-9 Rubin with a rocket.
Just exactly her sweet spot. Last time we saw her, she sent it down the line. This time she goes cross court, changing it up. And now she'll serve.
Currently a 4-1 run for Stanford right now. And Rubin with the last service error puts this one in play. Out of system, over to Mambu. Perfect opportunity to set up the slide. And Andrew showing the precision.
7th on the day for Lizzie Andrew. Back set from you, and Andrew going down the line on that one. Again, someone else changing it up. We've seen her on the slide go cross court, this time down the line.
Attacking has been the most successful from that near side pin. The joust won by Blashoff. Trying to get tricky was the setter in Suarez, but an even better job by the redshirt sophomore in Blashoff.
We're gonna get a look here. There's the block, just getting the fingertips on it. Julia Blashoff at 6'3". 28th block on the season.
Blashoff at 6'3". It's insane. She doesn't look that tall in the front line for the Cardinal, but I think that just says how much about the size that Stanford is able to put on the floor in any given rotation.
Anybody's gonna look a little smaller next to the 6'5" Lizzie Andrew.
Opportunity set the left side for Mambu. Off the head. Spencer Etzler into the table, able to save it. And now it's Blashoff. Great cover by the Card. You left side, back over to Blashoff. Dig from the back road by Dispegna. Slide. And now the quick attack. Going over to Deandra Pierce. And Pierce, known for her ability to show up the slide, this time with the quick hit.
Etzler gets there, but it's not enough for the Cardinal. The graduate student sends that right down the middle.
She is a graduate student, but she has been on this roster for 3 straight seasons. A lot of experience here in a yellow jacket uniform. Going back to the slide, targeting that right shoulder. And the point for Lizzie Andrew once more.
You love the change up once again. We mentioned she's been going cross court. Last time we saw her, then she changed up, went down the line, and now why not? Let's go back cross court. They don't know what's coming next. And the power that she's able to get on that. Unstoppable.
The ability of Andrew to make that read mid-air has been part of the reason she has had such a successful sophomore campaign. Setting up is Fyodorowicz, and sent right back down. The roof built on by Erica Sayer.
Erica Sayer. Well, we're talking about one middle blocker, Lizzie Andrew. Now let's talk about Erica Sayer, freshman middle blocker, 2-time ACC.
Coco Kirsch, a really difficult ball to return. The out of system here for Fyodorowicz. Kirsch with the setup, over to Blashoff, just having to send it over the net. Right side, going back to her bread and butter. It's Pierce with the right side slide.
Deandra Pierce has come alive as we've come into this third set. The slide, cross court, back line. And get a shot of her right there. 6'1" out of Austin, Texas. 5th in the ACC in hitting percentage, and we see why.
5 kills, hitting .318. And Blashoff able to work it off the block. And the luck seemingly finding the direction of the Cardinal, finding that one went way out of play.
You with the set, Blashoff.
Going to the freshman on the left side. Just a little too much power for the Polish player. Stanford leading by 10 here in the third. And it's on the nose, but oh my goodness, I love Taylor Yu's serving song.
It has to be noted. Soldier Boy, of course.
Unfortunate for the Card in that situation. The block goes out of play. A really good job tooling off the block by Georgia Tech. Eloise Suarez out of the back line. This is arguably one of the better units that Georgia Tech can put out onto the floor. Right side. Oh my goodness, a thunder strike from the right side. Erica Sayers on fire.
Well, tally it, the 6th of the day for the middle blocker. We've seen Lizzie Andrew get it on the slide. This time, Erica Sayer on the slide.
Sayer, belated happy birthday. Celebrated that birthday on 11/22, so just a couple of days out. And a service ace here for Blashoff makes it 23-12. Erica Sayer, such a young player that's continuing to develop right before our eyes. Going to the right side, and the block is strong. Rubin and Sayer putting that one away, and it is set point Cardinal, 24-12.
Once again, flying through the air, Fyodorovic denied.
Blashoff. Left side over to Spignier. And this, obviously it's a tough situation. You're trailing by 11 here on set point, but we talked about this going into the second. It's not about how this set ends up. It's about if you can build some momentum and put something together going into the fourth. Etzler with the dig. Yu going right back to her middle. And of course, Erica Sayer putting her cap in it.
Has been the name of the game here throughout 3.
The leader in kills on the afternoon, and Fyodorovic gets us started here in the third. The one-handed stab. And it's Yu taking a page out of the Logan Parks book to get that first point for the Card. That is the beauty of having all those different setters. You just take little different pieces of each player, and Yu showing off her best ability to replicate some of the Logan Parks playbook. Etzler, high lofting serve. Going to the right side, playing some dodgeball and paying it off. The attack goes long.
We'll get a look here. Just a little bit long.
And there's a challenge coming. This is the 4th of the afternoon by Michelle Callier. Callier missed her first one and has gone 2-0 since. Let's see if she can continue it. If Georgia Tech loses the challenge here on the touch, they will have no more remaining unless there's a 5th.
You like this challenge. This is a really big moment. Stanford obviously taking that third set, now up 2-1, and whoever can get off to a really hot start here, it matters. Stanford Cardinal are taking the momentum into this set, and if you're Georgia Tech, you need to stop the momentum. You need to grab it back. This is a good way to do so. What we're looking at here is, was there a touch?
Yeah, it was definitely clean on the back end with Blashoff getting out the way, but it's the block of the Cardinal. Were they able to go ahead and get that touch? And it looks like maybe the right thumb.
So hard to tell. It does look like maybe it hits some fingers, but then you look at the fingers and there's no movement there. You're looking at the fingers just bending back a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it might have just went straight through that A gap, right through the hands. This should be a good angle.
Slow motion, certainly looks like it hits the gap.
Yeah, it hits the gap right past the fingertip of Andrew. Despena has been coming out and putting a ton of power on it all afternoon long. That time she catches the Cardinal guard just a little out of place, but Cardinal trying to use some more of the momentum and see if they can shift it back over to this right side of the court.
You mentioned Despena's been hitting it hard all day long, and that's fantastic. That's usually what you want from an outside hitter, but you look at what she's been able to do. Despena with 8 kills, only 3 attacking errors, so it's more than just hitting it hard. She's picking out her spots and what she wants to do. She's not just hitting it to hit it hard.
And she steps up in the biggest moments in the matchup against Louisville last time, had 20 kills, hitting 324. It's just a diverse attack on both sides of the net.
We're going to get another look here, and from this angle, it really does look like it hits that gap.
Coach Callier has been doing a tremendous job with their challenges all afternoon long, but in this situation, we finally have a decision.
After review, calls confirmed, no touch. Point Stanford.
Both of the challenges
Georgia Tech is out of challenges.
Georgia Tech is out of challenges, and Stanford looking to keep this one rolling as they lead 2-1 here in the fourth frame. Spencer Etzler out to initiate. One middle with the quick attack. You doing a good job getting right underneath that ball to dig it up. But unfortunately for the card, off the twine into the floor. And effectively after that timeout on the challenge, it's Georgia Tech getting their first point here in the fourth.
That was a great read as well by the sophomore middle blocker, Bianca Geribaldi, who we're seeing right now on the serve. Third in conference rankings for hitting percentage and ninth in blocks. It's been a show of the middle blockers today.
Jordan Harvey refreshes it off the block. Changing her approaches Rubin, and that is the poise of Rubin right there. Took the first step, realized the set was going to be slightly out of place, perfectly going up and beating the triple block.
Well, you said it, it's the readjustment. 3 players, 6 arms, and Rubin tools it, gets the point.
And it's going to take 13 different players to stop Elia Rubin wearing that number 13 for the card. It doesn't matter if you send that triple block, she does so well, able to chisel off of it. And here in her last regular season home match, she is continuing to show off every single bit of her ability.
I mean, we mentioned that she became the 23rd player in program history to register 1,000 career kills. And that says a lot no matter what the program is, but especially in a program like the Stanford Cardinal. This has been the best program in the nation. Literally, statistically, they've won more NCAA titles with 9, more NCAA tournament matches, 141, made the Final Four appearance 23 times, and been in the national championship match 17 times, more than any other program in the nation. They've qualified for 43 of the 44 NCAA tournaments.
The block there, strong for the Cardinal. And a back row attack from Theodorich. And now it's Blasov! Continuing to work off the block as it's 5 serving 2. When you come into a season led by Kevin Hambley, you got to expect the postseason is right there in your vision the moment you step in. Obviously, the ACC, a gauntlet and a hack as the block here from Lizzie Andrews sent right down. But the Stanford Cardinal are a team that are built for postseason play.
It's you and Andrew rising, and it's Andrew getting that solo block. You mentioned, Max, they're built for postseason play. It's interesting right now as we look at you, who's been subbed in, has been taking over setting duties today, and we talk about the setter position as we get a look here. Great work by Georgia Tech to tally that point. We talk about the setter position for the Stanford Cardinal, and it really has belonged to Logan Parks. Yes, there's been some rotations, but talking to Kevin Hambley with Logan Parks having to sit out for a few games, he said, you know, it's not really how you want to go into postseason play with changing out setters, and you get that timing. It's just a little bit off when you don't have that setter in rhythm with everybody, and that's a little bit of what we're seeing here. It's a huge credit to the Stanford Cardinal that they're still able to do what they can do when it seems like they've been a little bit out of rhythm with Logan Parks. And of course, Taylor Yu gets all of the credit for stepping in well today, but we'll see how that affects them then going into Louisville for their final regular season game.
21st match of the year played by Yu as Georgia Tech quietly comes back into this one. 6-5 currently the score as Stanford still has the advantage. But off the serving, Bialeski, the freshman out of Brazil, in her 22nd match of her own regard, continuing to build some momentum here for Georgia Tech as they go on a 3-0 run. Yu to Blasov. And that's the momentum taken right back. Julia Blasov blasting off.
She certainly makes it look easy, and Yu sets her up just perfectly. No block for Georgia Tech, and making it far too easy for Julia Blashoff.
And if you give an empty net to any of the Cardinal players, they will make you pay. Going left side, far pin. Having to make an adjustment was Fyodorovic. Coco Kirsch with the free ball. Ripping it down to the back line. Anya Fyodorovic. 12 kills on the afternoon.
Fyodorovic, great setup. Look at that power. Fyodorovic, 11 kills, but 8 errors. She's hitting .091. So nice to see her tally that using the power and precision right there.
But anytime you need a big point, they have gone to the freshman in Fyodorovic, and she continues to answer the call when they serve it upon her. Taylor Yu, 8 serving 6. Looked like it might have gone long instead. A Georgia Tech player got there. Now it's an out-of-system attack for Fyodorovic. Yu sets left side. Blashoff couldn't quite collect the hands on the way out. Back to the line, Eloise Suarez. A ton of Brazilian talent playing under the Brazilian head coach. 3 members of the roster stemming from that South American country. Back over to Fyodorovic. Off the block, out of play. All knotted up here in the fourth, 8-8. Eloise Suarez into that back line, allowing 3 attackers to the front row. Yu going to the right side. Off a big hit from Sayer, Georgia Tech plays the defense. And man, reflexes have been on full display today on both sides of the net. Stanford so many times sees the ball coming in hot, able to dive out the way.
Yeah, and you said it in big moments. They've been going to the freshman out of Poland right there once again. Over to Fyodorovic, that one just a little bit wide.
Makes us need to keep our head on a swivel here from the sidelines.
Certainly.
The attack goes long. And it looks like it did catch the hands of Sayer. Back and forth we go. There's no quit in this Yellow Jackets team.
You get a look at that rising. You see how high up that freshman Fyodorovic can get.
And Blashoff getting that receive. Back over to Ruben. Yu able to dig it up, but it goes into the table. The review booth is not an eligible player for the card, and it is 10-9 as Georgia Tech takes the lead back.
A great serve makes things a little harder for the Stanford Cardinal, and right into the block.
It's just been a game of runs this afternoon. Elia Rubin getting the Cardinal run going here.
Great vision there from the senior, Elia Rubin, tooling it off of the block. We'll see. Beautiful work. It just grows right off of the hand of Garibaldi. And a great layout there from Fyodorovic in the back line trying to get there. Couldn't quite make it.
All the heart and passion and effort are on display. Both sides know what is on the line. And that dictates the score currently. All knotted up 10 apiece. Stanford currently leading the match 2-1. They'll go middle. And Garibaldi able to get the point. 11-10, the current score. And I think Georgia Tech in this situation just starting to trust some of their more efficient attacking, as they have had a few attacking errors on their last few possessions. Yu going right side, back over to Harvey. And Harvey right back into the fold. Harvey up to 10 kills. There are 3 different Cardinal players in Harvey, Blashoff, and Rubin, now with double-digit kills.
Absolutely gorgeous. It's Fyodorovic leading this game with 14, but Harvey, as you mentioned, Blashoff and Rubin right behind her with 10.
And both the middles with 9 kills apiece as well. Now Yu with the kill of her own. Getting tricky, going on two. It's not the standard dump off. She shows up her hitting prowess too.
What vision from Taylor Yu. Possibly my favorite volleyball play, a set dump, and Taylor Yu gets the vision, gets her left hand on it, finds the backcourt. So many elements to that play. You look at the hitting percentage this year, Stanford 647 compared to Georgia Tech's under 100 in set number 3. And Georgia Tech doing a good job here of keeping pace with the Stanford Cardinal. This is a moment where we usually see the Cardinal run away with it. Georgia Tech, as you said, trusting their hitters to do what they need to do.
We're talking about this being a game of runs and Stanford on a run of their own. Great block from the Card, going right back to it. And Mambu goes wide. Stanford now on a 4-0 run.
And the winners of each set has been the team who hasn't hurt themselves.
That has been the trend early on. A diving attempt just to get that ball over. Miscommunication there from Georgia Tech, but the block sent that one away. Mambu, oh my goodness.
We're gonna get a look at this. Look at the save, unbelievable bet from Despeña, and then the block. That was Pierce rising with Mambu, but it was Mambu on the edge.
Abby Lee, an opportunity to show off her serving skills. 12 serving 14. Yu going left side, back over to Rubin. And Rubin wasn't able to get any hands on the way out. Marching right up to that official is Hambly, and will we get a review? Yes, indeed.
Well, you saw how sure Elia Rubin was right from the jump that there was a touch, and she signaled to her head coach, Kevin Hambly, and he did not hesitate in marching over, giving the challenge signal.
Rubin here on her senior night. One of those coaches that we talk about on the floor as well. And when you have all that confidence from your senior outside hitter, you got to ride the momentum. Hambly 1-0 on challenges compared to the, 4-2? The Yellow Jackets up to this point. It feels like DV Sport has been getting their money's worth here this afternoon.
Certainly, and we're going to get the look right here. We're looking at the right hand of Suarez, number 13.
And it looks pretty clear to me that that hand just flops back.
It certainly does, but you never know. Different angles, it can look differently. Let's take a look at this one right from the net. Looking at the right hand. It does look like it flops pretty far backwards, yeah. Max.
You know, we all are human, and to be human is to error. So, you know, that's why you have those challenges. You go out there, you fix things up, and you send it right back into the action.
A huge credit to our referees. Of course, we already mentioned Jerwin Jordan, Brig Beatty, Donald, Taryn, and Neil Meredith. A thankless job being a referee, and also one of the harder ones to do. And they've done a fantastic job. So many challenges today, so many replays. They've done a fantastic job throughout this entire match.
Everybody loves to have the officials as the scapegoat, but at the end of the day, if you don't have officials, you can't really play this game at this level.
Without the officials, who are you going to complain to?
Who are you going to put the blame on, right? Truly a thankless job. The review continues here, so maybe a little closer than we initially thought.
Maples Pavilion getting the replay right here. They seem to have made their decision in the stands.
You mean Maples being biased towards Stanford? Would have never thought that, huh?
Certainly been a fortress for the Stanford Cardinal, who are coming off back-to-back matches against Cal. They played Cal here in Maples, and then they went away to Berkeley. Looks like we're going to get the call in right here. We'll come back to that in a moment.
After review, calls reversed. Point Stanford.
Unfortunately, challenges won and lost is not an official stack that is tracked anywhere, but I want to go back over the 9-year careers of Kevin Hambly and check, because he's got to be shooting well above 90%. Anytime Kevin Hambly marches up to make that call, seems like it's a Stanford point.
Well, he listens to his players. He's very sure of it when he decides to use that challenge, and he uses it effectively. We were talking about Maples Pavilion, Stanford playing Cal here, sweeping them in 3 sets, then going on the road to Berkeley, ending up sweeping Cal in 3 straight sets. But Kevin Hambley said it's really hard to play that many matches against the same team and then go on the road for the second one. You feel a little bit shaken up, a little bit out of sorts. You want to win 6 straight sets, which is harder to do, of course, than 3 straight sets. So Stanford certainly happy to be back in their fortress of Maples Pavilion.
And Mimi Mambu showing up that she is not shaken up whatsoever. 8 kills now on the afternoon. She is still hitting under 100, however. 13 serving 15. Rubin with the receive. Left side, blast off! What can she not do? An explosion on that near side pin.
My goodness, there was some heat on this one. You see it even takes the senior middle blocker, Anna Bosey, all the way down. Excuse me, that was the defensive specialist, Sofia Velez, also a senior though. Transfer from Trinity Valley Community College.
Yeah, one of those JUCO dogs, you love to see it. Dig in the back row there by Kirsch. Bump set. Blashoff has to go up with the joust. And now it's another free ball. Off-speed opportunity. Fyodorovic. Last few opportunities with power haven't worked, so now she gets a little tricky.
You love to see it. We said she's had some errors on the day, and you mentioned the switch up right there, and that's really, really good to see. The freshman outside hitter, we know she can hit the ball hard, but can she texture it? Can she get that touch on it just to place it where she wants to?
Over the redshirt sophomore, the ball's still live, and it drops down out of bounds. Heads up play there by the freshman middle blocker and Erica Sayre to just hit that one up. But you blink, and guess what? Georgia Tech fighting back into that one. Stanford won on a 4-0 run to build up their lead. And now it's 16-15. They still have the advantage, but a huge point here as the block sends it away, tying things up at 16.
My goodness, having a day. Garibaldi leading today in blocks. That's her 6. It's Garibaldi with 6, Fyodorovic with 4. Those two are leading the way on either side of the net in terms of blocks.
And a hard shot to block, flying through the sky in the back row. It's Jordan Harvey.
Harvey was getting going really early on the first set, the second set. She's been a little quieter, but then she comes in, she says, let's finish this off. The junior playing such a leadership role in this Stanford.
Bosey, the senior out of Troy, Ohio. Only her 6th match played this year. Looking for answers, and it looks like they found another one in Fyodorovic.
Rising, picking her spot out, getting the touch on it as well.
See Suarez in the back line, going back full matrix for Elia Rubin as this one goes long for the error. We talked about it early on, and I think this trend will continue here. Stanford looking to close things out 18-17. But it's going to be who is able to dot their I's and cross their T's to put this one away. Diving down is Rubin. Able to set up an attack on that right side. Air Harvey.
Jordan Harvey, that's her 12th on the day, tooling it right off of the outside of the left arm of Despena. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Jordan Harvey has been such a huge piece. 6 kills in her last performance. Last time these two teams met, 5 kills. Able to step up and lead the Cardinal up to this point with 12 kills on the afternoon. Huge shot on the left side by Despena. Terrific dig by Etzler. Back to Despena. We talk about how hard the Cardinal can hit it, but oh my goodness, just a boom and a sonic boom at that from the freshman out of Italy.
We'll take a look here. Etzler with the dig, then right back to that left side of Georgia Tech.
Service ace. That ties things back up at 19. Third service ace of the afternoon for Georgia Tech to the 5 of Stanford. Stanford currently leading 2-1 in this best of 5. Georgia Tech fighting, clawing, working tooth and nail to try to send this one to a 5th. You going left side. Rubin, a rare mistake. Timeout on the floor taken by Kevin Ham. Let's see if they decide to go middle or if they'll continue to funnel things to the outside. But before you do that, you got to set the ball in play. The service error from Georgia Tech knots us back up at 20 apiece. Spencer Etzler out to the service line. And checking right back in is Garibaldi. Toughness on display for that sophomore middle blocker. Etzler coming in with 24 aces, another tough serve. Right side to Spegna, right in front of us, a full out dive into the media table. It won't result in any points, but the heart on the sleeve shown on display by Spencer Etzler there. She got her hand underneath it as well. Garibaldi to the back line, 21 serving 20, trying to force a 5th. Harvey into that back row. Out of system attack, set up to Mambu, and the block for Stanford puts that one away.
What a battle we have right now. Georgia Tech trying to send this to 5. Lizzie Andrew has something else to say about that.
This is where you want to be in your rotation. Harvey back to serve. And Harvey with the dig in the back row. You setting up left side. Rubin! Another triple block set down to earth.
Elia Rubin coming up big. Harvey with the dig. You with the set. Rubin tooling that right off of the hands of Spegna. We've seen her do it so much already today.
Out of system with the tip. Harvey with some tremendous defense the last few plays. And Rubin continuing to show up her offensive prowess.
Offensive prowess for Rubin. But Harvey leading in digs today. That her 14th dig. And sea of orange that was that day.
Harvey getting us started once more. Sends that one a little too long. A little bit of life still here for Georgia Tech. 22 serving 23. Time and time again, it comes down to who's playing cleaner volleyball. The service specialist, Abby Lee. Let's see if she can rip off a big pressure on her serve. You back row, Harvey off the block. Set, match, point, card. No timeouts left by Georgia Tech.
It can't be said enough for this Cardinal team. The leaders, the big players coming up biggest in big moments.
On senior night, it's the senior, Elia Rubin. Joust at the net. You setting Blasov. Blasov off the block. The crowd erupts as Stanford takes it 3-1. 25-20.